Alright y'all, I'm going to show you two guided practice problems to help you before you do your independent classwork. So I just wanted to check in with you guys to make sure you remembered how to do this, okay? Again, if you have any questions along the time that you're working on your assignment, just let us know and we'll be happy to help you out. So let's look at this first example for you. So it says, Kenneth has a bag containing marbles that are all the same size and shape. What is the probability of randomly choosing a white marble on the first pick, replacing it, and then randomly choosing a green? Okay, so let's go ahead and see how we're going to do this. So we did this in our previous lesson, but in case you forgot, needed a little refresher, we're going to take our first event and multiply it by our second event. That way we don't have to sit here and make a very long list or sample space of all those combinations. So let's look at our first event. What is the probability of choosing a white marble and then choosing a green? So this will be my second event, and this will be my first event. So I would highly suggest labeling underneath these because eventually these aren't going to be there. So if you get in the habit of practicing this, when those aren't there, it'll help you out. So we're taking our first event, which is the white marble, our second event, which is the green. So we look and we see that there are 2 white marbles out of, they didn't tell me the total, so we got to figure that out. So there's 6 red, 8 blue, 5 green, 9 yellow, 2 white. So 6 and 8 is 14, plus 5 is 19, plus 9 is 19, it's 28, 29, 30. Let me just double check my math, making sure we got it right. So we had 6 red, 8 blue, 5 green, 9 yellow, 2 white. Perfect. Just wanted to make sure. Because if we get one of those numbers wrong, it's going to affect everything else. So if I have a 2 out of 30 chance of getting a white marble and I put that back, my total is still the same. I still have 30 because I put that first drawing back. But now this numerator is going to represent the green. So how many are green? There are 5. Okay, so 2 out of 30 chance of getting the white, you put that marble back, there's still 5 green, and now there's still 30 total marbles because we didn't keep that one. We'll talk about that later on. Okay, so now to make sure you have that white and then green combination, we're going to multiply those fractions. So 2 times 5 is 10. 30 times 30, well, if you pretend those zeros aren't there, 3 times 3 is 9, and then put 2 zeros back, so it's 900. Of course, we could reduce, but we could leave it just like that. So there would be many combinations. We could actually divide this by 2 and get 5 on the top. Half of 900 is 450. Then we could divide by 5 again, and we would get 1 out of 90. Okay? So if you wrote 10 out of 900 or 5 out of 450 or 1 out of 90, technically all 3 of those answers are right. Because remember with probability, we can reduce the fraction, we can make it a decimal, we can make it a percent. So there's a lot of different elements that we've already been talking about with probability that could come into one problem. Well, we've been only doing 2 events, so let's talk about what happens with 3 events. Because in our previous lesson, we even said that independent events that are 2 or more events that do not affect each other. So let's talk about Genesis flipping a quarter. Well, if she flips a quarter 3 different times, that's why there are 3 different fractions. But if she's flipping that same quarter 3 times, we'll either land on heads or you land on tails. So let's think about it. If she's flipping, what is the probability that she's landing on tails? And then tails again, and then tails one more time? Well, stop and think about it. She has that quarter, so there's a 1 out of 2 chance for her to land on tails. And she flips the quarter again, well, there's still only one side with tails out of 2 possibilities. She flips that quarter one more time, there's still one side that has tails out of 2 possibilities. Okay? So if we multiply these straight across, just like we did when there was 2 events, we're going to get the combinations or the possibilities of her landing on tails each time. So 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So there's a 1 out of 8 chance for her to land on tails all 3 times. Okay? Be very careful with this because a lot of people right here, their brains see 3 2s and they want to say, oh, that's 6. But remember, it's 2 times 2 times 2. So be very careful. We don't want you to fall for those mistakes. Okay? All right, so good luck on your independent practice. And as always, let us know if you need any help on this assignment, probability of repeated events. Good luck.